Folks, I still have the chills. I got up in the morning, I knew I was going to talk about this subject. However, I wasn't sure of the exact title, and this is the honest to God truth. I printed out the agenda and looked at the title, and I said, whoa, this can't be true. I actually had the chills. I'm dead serious. I still have them, as a matter of fact. If you look at the title of my speech, How Serendipitous Encounters Can Change Your Life. And I could talk for hours on this subject matter because the fact that I've had so many serendipitous encounters and divine intervention over my life, that it's been absolutely incredible. I want to share with you two stories. One, my life was changed some 40 plus years ago when I was on the beaches of St. Thomas, standing there in the water when I struck up a conversation with a gentleman who was standing there as well. I had previously seen him on the flight from San Juan to St. Thomas and struck up a conversation just by saying, hi, how are you? He was there with his wife and young daughter. So we're out on the beach there. Several days later, he asked me what I did. I said I work for a bank in Boston called Boston Safe Deposit Trust, which is now Bank of New York Mellon. And at that time, I wasn't very happy with what I was doing. I wanted to get into high-tech marketing and sales because my father had actually missed out on an opportunity to join Digital Equipment when they had 5 employees. He didn't want to move 40 miles from Quincy, Massachusetts to Maine, Massachusetts. So he missed out on a huge opportunity because Digital ended up going public. They were acquired by Compaq Computer, which is now Hewlett-Packard, and very, very successful company at the time. So I met him and struck up a conversation. He asked me what I did, as I mentioned. And he said, well, when you get back to Boston, why don't you give me a call if you're my business card when we get back to the beach? So I did that. And I went out and interviewed with him and his co-founder, as well as several other people who worked there. And sure enough, 2 days later, I had a job offer, which launched my career in high technology marketing and sales. I was selling and marketing infrared moisture analyzers, which I knew absolutely nothing about, but it didn't matter. It was a great launch for a career. I stayed there 2 years and went on. The rest is history with regard to high tech marketing and sales. Well, let me tell you about a story about just what happened this week. I decided the last minute, pretty much, although I had been thinking about it, to go out to the International Toastmasters Convention in Denver, primarily to see Roy get all of his awards. And by the way, I think United Van Lines is going to be sending a truck out to pick up everything that he has. I swear to God, the guy is like a rock star within Toastmasters. He had more awards. I thought it was the Oscars, seriously. And I think we ought to buy him one of those Golden Globes and Oscar when he comes back in for the next meeting. So I went in with Roy, and so Roy and I were walking through the convention center, and they had this group of trade show booths there standing. So walking around, and next thing you know, I stopped at this booth, which I thought was pretty intriguing. It was how to launch, I forget the exact name of the booth, but how to launch your online business or business online. So what I did is I just looked at it, and they had an appointment sign-up sheet for certain times. So what I did is I wrote down, I had said hello to the lady, and as well as someone else, and I didn't recognize her because it just, maybe it was my eyesight or whatever, but so I'm standing there, I wrote down my name, and next thing you know, she turns around, and she grabs me and gives me this huge hug. Jeff Sheehan from Boston. And I said, yes. She said, Molly. And I said, Molly, I hadn't seen this woman in 8 years. She was a speaker at Holy Spirit Career Ministry when I ran the Holy Spirit Career Ministry. And so I hadn't seen her. I had met with her subsequent to that to talk about career search and other aspects. And so now she was in Denver. So again, walking by with multiple booths and just having this where she saw my name and reaching out. Come to find out, she's a CPS, a Certified Professional Speaker within National Speakers Association. She does extremely well with regard to it. She had this young lady there who, when I did a LinkedIn connection request last night, I was blown away as well, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this lady has launched this business, and she just launched it at the National Speakers Association convention 2 weeks ago, how to get your courses up online. And she's done extremely well for herself with regard to online coaching and online platforms. Made a lot of money, and she makes a lot of money as a speaker. She's a keynoter who makes very, very good money, which is unusual in the speaking area because speakers are generally now like starving artists. Most of them, about 95% don't make much money at all. But she's doing extremely well. So we struck up a conversation. She came back and met with her. I spent 2 hours with her, and she had this young lady come over, who came over and was also talking about potential programs I could put online. So they outlined this. I spent 2 hours with her going through that, and she thought I had some programs that could potentially be hits like she's had. So this young lady came over, we're talking, and then I didn't realize it, but she had said that this young lady, is an online course mastermind. And I kind of wasn't sure of that because I never heard of her before. So I'm putting through that LinkedIn request. I saw that she had ran Dave Ramsey's program, and she also ran Amy Porterfield. If anyone who's involved in the social media space know that she's a Facebook rock star. She's #2 after Mari West. And so I sat down with them. They went through this for a couple of hours with me, and I was just flabbergasted because of the fact that she has a program I think that will be very, very helpful to me. But I just want to emphasize the fact that it was a serendipitous encounter. Hadn't seen this individual for 8 years. They recognized when I put my name, pen to paper, with regard to who I was and how she could be potentially quite helpful. She, like me, has given an awful lot of time over the years to job seekers and trying to help them out. A lot of it was pro bono, but she took and she collectively packaged everything she knew and had done quite well from an executive search perspective. And she had some ideas for me. So in closing, look out for these serendipitous divine intervention opportunities. You never know when they might present themselves and how they could possibly change your life. I honestly think, given the fact that I've known her for years and the fact of who she is, that she's going to help change my life with regard to what I'm doing and take everything that I've done over the last 10 years as a serial entrepreneur and package it like she has so successfully into something that's I'm going to benefit handsomely from. Fellow Toastmasters.